Orders. Scenery by David Gall.
Since 1994, the Seymour High School quarterback position has been capably handled by either Eric Tracy or Brian Moore. Both young men are still directing offenses at colleges in Massachusetts. Tracy is a sophomore at Springfield, and Moore is in his first year at Merrimack. Enter center stage Matt Thomas. The junior takes over the reins for the Wildcats. Thomas will be helped by a strong and veteran offensive line and two hard-nosed running backs in Matt Sympathy and Mike Aldo. Jarvis Benjamin emerged as an impact player for Ansonia at split end last year. Now the senior captain will run out of the backfield in the Chargers' wishbone offense, along with Captain Tobias Freeman and Quayton Jackson. From Jarvis Stadium in Ansonia, it's Seymour against Ansonia in a key Naugatuck Valley League matchup on Cable 10 Sports Valley High School Football Game of the Week. Hello again, everyone. Ed Clemens, Buddy Chernovitz coming to you from Jarvis Stadium in Ansonia. Buddy, first let's talk about the Seymour Wildcats. New quarterback, Matt Thomas. Seymour has had a tradition of great quarterbacks. They expect an awful lot from their quarterback. They've got a complicated option offense.
They really do, and they're going to expect Mr. Thomas to run that option, also be able to throw the football. He's got to be able to run a sophisticated offense that Bobby Keller has prepared coming into this football game against Ansonia. A very big game. He's being asked to do an awful lot. I think there's an awful lot of pressure on Mr. Thomas and the Seymour offense tonight here in Ansonia.
Now, it will help the Wildcats that they do return a veteran offensive line.
The line is going to certainly play a big part, and it may give Mr. Thomas some ability to get the protection he might need to throw the football. But still, he's got to make some big plays here tonight for Seymour, and he's got to avoid the turnovers to keep the ball out of the Ansonia football team, offensive team's hands.
Let's talk about Ansonia. They also have a new quarterback, and Coach Jack Hunt has been very high on his senior quarterback, Jack Degnan.
Yeah, Jack Degnan has done a great job, as Coach Hunt has said, in the preseason. He's done everything that they've asked of him. Both quarterbacks are young, both quarterbacks really inexperienced. It's a big game for two young men to be involved in here tonight. And look for the quarterback that has the better game, I think, to produce the winning football team.
We can't leave this preseason without talking about Ansonia's Mr. Everything this year. That's number one, Jarvis Benjamin. Last year, the split end. This year in the wishbone, you're going to see him running out of the backfield, but I do expect to see a lot of Jarvis Benjamin on the wing when Ansonia breaks the bone. They want to hit the ball in his hands.
He is really a great football player, has breakaway speed, can go the distance in any moment. He's a leader, and he's also had the experience. He's had a lot of time with that Ansonia offense and the defense, and going to look for big things from Mr. Benjamin this year.
And we'll be right back with Seymour Ansonia football right after this.
This fall, Telemedia is proud to announce the addition of Marcus Communications to the Telemedia family. This merger will provide Telemedia the opportunity to reshape your cable TV viewing experience with new and exciting services. As a leader in entertainment and communication services, Telemedia is committed to the continuing improvement of the telecommunications network serving your community. Welcome to the Telemedia family. Welcome to the future of cable TV.
Welcome back, everyone, and we're moments away from the opening kickoff to this Naugatuck Valley League rivalry and intra-valley rivalry between Seymour and Ansonia, and our first kickoff of the 1998 season, Buddy, on Cable 10 Sports. It's great to have high school football back with us.
Great to be back.
Ansonia defers their option to the second half. They kick it off to the Wildcats. That goes out of bounds. It was number 12, Matt Thomas, in the vicinity of football. We've got a possibility here of Seymour. They can take it at the 35. They could elect to have Ansonia kick it off again.
Good job by Matt Thomas allowing the ball to get out of bounds, stayed close, did not make a mistake trying to field it. And it looks like Seymour will take the option of having the ball placed down at the 35-yard line to start this football game.
And that was Luigi Liovi, the freshman for Ansonia, kicking off. to kick off our season. Let's take a look now at that Seymour offense. First of all, in the backfield, the junior quarterback Matt Thomas. The fullback is Mike Aldo. Tailback is Matt Sympathy, and you see the wide receivers, Panaleo and Pollock. And now that offensive line, it's a good one, a veteran one, the newcomer, Jason Barker.
Ansonia starting in an odd defense, a 50 defense.
And goes to Sympathy, and Sympathy tries the middle for a pair to the 37-yard line, stacked up by the middle of the Ansonia defense. And Petrosky on the tackle. Let's take a look at that Ansonia defense, the front five. But he said Ansonia started in that 50 defense. John Morrow represents some experience along that front wall. Linebackers now in the secondary. Tobias Freeman and Ron Linder are forces at the linebacker spot. And of course, Jarvis Benjamin looming defensively at one of the corners for Ansonia. 2nd and 8 from the 37, just underway. The pitch, that's Sympathy. And Sympathy slowed up and taken down. That's the captain, Tobias Freeman, first to get to Sympathy.
Keith Nelson, also number 72, gets out of the gate very quickly. Watch Nelson from behind here. Play off a block. He's going to get a hold of number 31. Dragging him down, gets some help, but he does a great job on that 2nd down possession. It'll be a 3rd and very long.
Nelson in place of David Simmons, the regular nose guard for Ansonia. Simmons should be going just one way, has had an ankle injury in the early going for Ansonia. 3rd and long, and holding on to the football and being stopped at the line of scrimmage by Freeman. That is Thomas, Adrian Freeman, 5'11", 190-pound junior. In
little trap play. The guard's going to come across, then the quarterback's going to come behind, but nobody picks up number 4. Andre Freeman does a good job playing off the block and makes the tackle. This is going to be a 4th down for Seymour. So it's 3 and out on their first possession here in the opening of this first quarter.
And Sobieski to punt it away. And he gets a good one and a good Seymour roll inside the 15, down at the 11-yard line by the Cats, by Eric Pollock. And we'll see Ansonia, their first offensive possession of the 1998 football season. But he forgot to mention when we showed the graphic of Ansonia's defense, the fact that the 3 Freemen starting defensively for Coach Jack Hunt's team. We kidded the coach on our preseason show about the fact that the Freemans would be out of the offensive backfield. We see them playing together first off on defense. We'll give you that Ansonia offense in just a little bit. Out of the wishbone, that is Jarvis Benjamin. Just back to the line of scrimmage. Steve DeBona from the secondary on the stop. Let's take a look now at the Ansonia offense. The quarterback, he's a new one. He's a senior, 6'1", 190-pound senior quarterback, Jack Degnan. Out of the wishbone, Tobias Freeman, Jarvis Benjamin, and Quayton Jackson. The split end is Jared Mott. And now let's take a look at an Ansonia line with Petrosky and Rowley, the returnees. On the pitch, the other side, they try Quayton Jackson. He'll cut it back in close to the 15-yard line. He stopped there by the Seymour defense. Let's take a look at that Seymour defense. First of all, the front 4, it's a solid one. The newcomer is Derek Jones. And now let's take a look at the backers in the secondary. Linebacking crew as strong as they come in the state in Sadek, Aldo, and Sympathy. That secondary, very, very green and very inexperienced, but Paul Sponheimer says he likes them off the preseason. 3rd and long. On misdirection, play is stopped at the line of scrimmage. Quayton Jackson, the ball carrier.
They come with a little bit of a counter as they try and get the ball to number 32 for Ansonia. That's Quayton Jackson, and he's piled up right at the line of scrimmage. Good job by Seymour. They're going to force Ansonia back into a punt situation. So both teams, first 3 plays and out for their offense.
A high snap from center, but Benjamin pulls it down, and under the circumstances, he gets off a fine punt, and it's going to take an Ansonia roll, and it rolls dead at the Seymour 49-yard line. Buddy Chernovitz caught up with Coach Paul Sponheimer before the game, and he asked the veteran Seymour coach about his new quarterback, Matt Thomas.
And Matt Thomas has allowed us to grow as an offensive team, and that was the change. We were hoping that Seth would be our quarterback, and it would have made other things easier, but we made a decision to go with Matt Thomas, and he's been nothing but a great work ethic, and he's let us grow at a faster pace than we were growing.
Welcome back, everyone. The Wildcats, their second possession. Cable 10 Sports, first game of the year. Our Valley High School football series. Cats in their standard I-back formation. Panaleo at the bottom of your screen, and that's Sympathy. He's going nowhere, stopped by the Ansonia defense, led by Petrosky.
Petrosky just is not blocked. They again try and come with a trap, try and get Barker and Mullen out in front of this. You see him pull, and then coming behind it is the back, and nobody picks up Brian Petrosky, the center. Great job. About a 2-yard loss for the Seymour Wildcats. Puts the ball back at about the 46, 47-yard line. As you get a look at that Ansonia defense. Very strong here in the first 4 plays against the Wildcats.
And Bud, that was a big concern of Jack Hunt coming into this game. Offenses look very good for Ansonia. Defense has been spotty. They've given up the big play. That's preseason, though, and this is for real. Sympathy, he's stacked up maybe 1 yard on the play. Taken down by Keith Nelson, along with Fred Carter.
Again, they're trying some misdirection. They come to the backside. You see Carter along with Nelson right there to stand up the ball carrier. It's still going to be 3rd and about 11. You get a look from behind that Ansonia defense, and the Charger defense coming up strong here in the first 5 plays of this first quarter.
This time it's Pollock along with Panaleo to the top part of your screen. And obvious passing down. Thomas throws it out there. It is off the fingertips of Eric Pollock. He had beaten the Ansonia defense at the 20.
Pollock just comes out of this trips formation to the top of your picture. Thomas gets back. You get a good block there by Aldo. Allows Thomas to set, puts the ball right into the hands of Pollock. Pollock just is unable to get it, and it'll bring up a punting situation. Nice throw by Matt Thomas.
And the punter will be Troy Sobieski. Troy's second punt of the evening. Under the lights here at Jarvis Stadium, a great crowd for the first game of the season. And Sobieski gets it off. On the other end, taken by number 48, Julius Freeman, the youngest Freeman brother. We've got a break in the action from Jarvis Stadium in Ansonia. We'll be right back after this.
Housatonic Lumber in Derby. We're the professional shop. Here's why.
I use Housatonic Lumber because of their on-time and prompt delivery service. They always deliver within 24 hours.
We use Housatonic Lumber because they have a great sales staff and a fully stocked yard of quality materials. I use Housatonic Lumber for the competitive pricing and the quality of their material.
Housatonic Lumber, 23 Factory Street in Derby. We're the professional shop.
Chargers, second possession, ball just outside their 30-yard line, midpoint of the first quarter. Ansonia goes to the wishbone, and they're running Quayton Jackson to the near side. And Jackson is rolled down at the 34-yard line. Steve DeBona leading the defense for the Wildcats.
Power formation, the eye, and they just pitch it, try and come right at you. Number 32 for the Chargers, Quayton Jackson, comes up, and DeBona does a good job coming in, gets help, making the stop. About a 2-yard gain for Ansonia.
Ansonia in the wishbone to the top part of your screen. That's Jared Mott. Benjamin running the football across the 35-yard line. And Derek Jones, the defensive tackle, on the stop for Seymour, along with Sobieski. Sobieski, Sadek, and Alapat, the Seymour captains. Third and long for Ansonia. Trips to the right side.
Free ball.
That's a free ball is correct. and a scramble. It's going to be picked up by the Wildcats. That was behind the line of scrimmage, and it was being thrown back. So the Wildcats, with an early break here, will get the football deep in Ansonia territory.
Watch, you get a good angle as the quarterback Degnan throws the ball over the head of number 1, Jarvis Benjamin. Benjamin tries to come up with it. There's a good job of keeping the ball alive by number 87, Morrow, and then the recovery on that far sideline is going to give Seymour excellent field position here inside the 15 at about the 13-yard line.
So the Cats knocking on the door. They'll split Sadik to the left side along with Pollock. And running the football on a quarterback draw. It's a design play. Matt Thomas down to the 10-yard line.
Watch the guard pulling number 57, that's Alapat, and then coming behind him, the quarterback Thomas picks up good yardage inside the 10-yard line to about the 9. Second down for the Wildcats after the turnover by Ansonia.
Wildcats with one back in the backfield. Panaleo along with Pollock to the left. And they run that back. That's Aldo inside the 5 down to the 2-yard line. And he might have picked up the first down.
This is just what they call a midline trap. Quarterback steps back and clears the fullback. Aldo just comes right up the gut, follows the trap block of the guard, and he is down inside the 2 to about the 1. First and goal for Seymour. Great call by Bobby Kello.
So it is a first down, first and goal for the Cats. They go back to the standard I-back formation. Tight formation out of the I. They give to Sympathy off the left side. He is hit in the backfield. Number 4 for Ansonia, Adrian Freeman, along with Wilbur Howard on the stop.
Watch Freeman and Howard. They're going to stand up the fullback and then take the back down. He does not get to the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose about a yard. Great job in that goal line defense for Ansonia by Freeman and Wilbur Howard. It's a second and goal.
Second and goal for the Cats at the 2. Late stages of the first quarter. Here at Jarvis Stadium in Ansonia. Cable 10 Sports Valley High School football game of the week. It's our kickoff game before a fine crowd and a great evening for high school football. Pollock out to the left side. Panaleo to the right. Thomas off the left side is in for the score. Matt Thomas, 5'10", 162-pound junior quarterback.
Just a quarterback sneak, and he'll run over Alapat and Thomas. Watch him put his head down. He goes over that right guard, or left guard, left tackle. Follows them in. Very good blocks there, especially by Chris Thomas. Look at the contact he has with Howard, allowing Matt Thomas to score the first touchdown of the year on Valley
Telemedia.
Cable 10 High School Sports, and that ball's right down the middle.
And that is Eric Pollock on the extra point. 3:55 remaining in the first quarter, and Seymour leads it 7-0. But he caught up with Ansonia coach Jack Hunt before the game, and he asked the veteran Ansonia coach for an evaluation of his new quarterback, Jack Degnan.
I think Jack Degnan right now is played above and beyond what I expected. You know, he is well ahead of where I thought he would be at this time. He's been running the offense great, and I think he'll just do a great job tonight also.
Welcome back, everyone. So, buddy, we see what turnovers can do in a high school football game. Ansonia turns it over deep, and Seymour capitalizes.
And there's a young guy, an Ansonia fan, and he's getting ready to watch this kickoff after that turnover. And as Eddie just said, turnover certainly shortened the field, and that one started Seymour on the Ansonia 13-yard line. A 5-play drive into the end zone, and Seymour takes a 7-0 lead.
Sobieski's kick in the hands of Julius Freeman, and Freeman bouncing and weaving, and the sophomore out across the 40 to the 41, dragged down by Pollock, among other Wildcats.
David Ryan, number 24, is going to do a good job of holding up the ball carrier as Freeman will weave and bob here. Number 24, Ryan, is going to set up, and watch now as Freeman almost gets around them, but he holds him up long enough for backside pursuit to catch up. Puts Ansonia on their own 40-yard line, 1st and 10.
Ansonia from the 41 out of the wishbone. And they give to Tobias Freeman, and Freeman for a pair out to the 43-yard line. Sadik on the stop for the Wildcats.
Just a straight ahead play as they try and get the fullback up in there quick. Freeman picks up about a yard on that play, and Ansonia, as we get close to the end of this first quarter, has not had a first down in this football game.
Out of the wishbone, Mott, the split end. That's Jarvis Benjamin. He gets into the secondary and gets close to the yard to gain before he's stopped by Derek Jones, 6 foot, 230-pound junior defensive tackle.
Again, the power play. They've got two lead backs coming in, leading for Jarvis Benjamin. He is very close to the initial first down for Ansonia. Get a look at that sideline. Very unusual for the Ansonia football team to be down here at their home field, Jarvis Stadium, but right now Seymour ahead 7-0, and Ansonia's going to be about a football short of their initial first down here in the first quarter. Big play here for the Chargers. They have to get a first down. They need to get something started on offense to answer that Seymour drive.
3rd and short. Ansonia will go double tight ends. Moving in with Morrow will be the other tight end, Ron Linder, to the left side. And the give is to Benjamin. He's picked up the first down. Coming in for the tackle is Matt Sympathy. Also getting his helmet in there was Seth Moranic from the secondary.
Again, Freeman along with Jackson just leading through the hole, giving Benjamin the room to make the first down.
First down for the Chargers. The give to the upback, the fullback, Tobias Freeman. He is stopped cold. Sobieski. Troy, 6'3", 207-pound senior defensive end. He's played a lot of football in his career at Seymour High School.
Excellent penetration. They were through. They were really unblocked, and Troy Sobieski, the senior, makes a big stop here. A loss of about 2 for the Charger offense.
2nd and 12. Football at the Seymour 49. We're deep into the first quarter. Seymour leads it 7-0. Degnan back to throw. Winds up, throws it downfield. It's a catch and then a fumble and a recovery by the Cats. Jarvis Benjamin on a reception. The ball's coughed up, and the Cats have come up with it. The second Ansonia turnover. Let's watch it.
I was not sure whether Benjamin comes up with this one. It's probably going to hit on his hands because he goes down to try and catch it, bounces off his helmet, I think, and then up into the defensive back, who makes a great recovery, and that's Matt Thomas. Comes up with that ball as it hit off the head of Benjamin on that throw by Degna, and Seymour again has a turnover, and they're ready to go on their own 20-yard line.
So it goes but as a pick by Matt Thomas, who's now directing that Seymour offense. Wildcats have looked good. That might have been a blown play right there, as Thomas just eats the football for a loss on first down.
Quarterback looks to make a play here, and everybody's going the other way. Either the quarterback is wrong or everyone else on the team went the wrong direction. I think Matt Thomas just stepped to the right instead of coming back to the left. So a loss of a couple on that one is going to bring up a second down as you get a look over the shoulders of the Ansonia Charger bench.
Shriver in for, check that, LaRova in for Shriver, and LaRova comes in on passing situations for Ansonia. 2nd and long for the Cats. Fake draw. Thomas screens it out to the right side. As a receiver out there, that's Sympathy. Down the right sideline, and Matt all the way up to the 40-yard line on the far side of the field. Great play call.
There's a great block that comes right on this screen, and I don't know who makes the block. We got to try and pick it up. I think it's number 72 who's going to get knocked down. But great job by Thomas sewing the screen. Sympathy right there. Now watch 72 get drilled right here as he goes to make the tackle. And I don't know who made that block, but boy, Nelson just got knocked off his feet. Allows Sympathy to break to midfield with that one, close to the 40-yard line. So a big play by the Wildcats.
And they mark it at the 40-yard line. So Seymour moving the football on offense. They lead it 7-0. Thomas brought down Morrow from his defensive end spot. Big loss on first down.
Everybody was fooled except for John Morrow. Watch John, he just keeps coming out of the fake. Thomas and Morrow just plants him on the 30. Great job by John Morrow, the senior, 6'3", 190-pounder.
So the line of scrimmage now to 30-yard line. It'll be a 2nd and 20 for the Cats. They have to get it up to midfield. Under a minute to go here. In motion is Aldo. Play fake. Thomas gets away from one hit, then brought down. Another loss. Adrian Freeman in on the play for Ansonia.
An awful lot of blue jerseys as, again, Thomas is going to come out of the fake, and there's no place to go. He steps up. 76 gets a piece of him, Wilbur Howard, and then everybody just knocks him down. Freeman and company, and that's another loss. I'm going to bring up a very long punt situation, or excuse me, it'll be a 3rd and very long as we come to the end of this first period.
And we can put the first quarter in the books for the 1998 football season. Your first quarter score, Seymour 7, Ansonia nothing. We're back for the second quarter here at Jarvis Stadium in Ansonia. Cats with a 3rd and long, 3rd and 28. Backed up to their 22-yard line. The series started at their 40. On the draw, that's Thomas running the football, and he almost got the corner. It was number 8, Larova, making a great tackle for Ansonia. Otherwise, Thomas had that corner.
Really, considering Seymour does not want to make a mistake here, Thomas comes up almost with a big play, and Larova does a great job of coming up and preventing that big play. Force Seymour into a punt situation after a great defensive stand by the Ansonia Chargers.
Sobieski to punt it away for the Cats. On the other end, Julius Freeman gets out of a couple of tackles and then dragged down at the 46 of Seymour. Alex Alapat on the stop for Seymour.
Good sidestep here by number 48, Freeman, as he is able to almost break it. He gets down inside Seymour territory. It's about the 45, 46-yard line.
First down. It's Jarvis Benjamin in the open. And Benjamin down to the 20-yard line, out of the wishbone. Wallach drags him down at that point.
Good job on just a straight handoff. Freeman breaks it to the near side after he follows his blocking backs through the hole. Almost stiff arms Pollock away, but Pollock knocks him down. A big first down for the Ansonia Chargers.
Again, they try Benjamin. And the senior captain for a pair down to the 18-yard line. We'll spot the football at the 18 of Seymour. Out of your picture to the left, one of the wide receivers, that is Benjamin, who gets the corner. And Benjamin inside the 10 for Ansonia.
Degnick comes out. Watch the fake to the outside, then makes a good option here. Watch number 32, Quentin Jackson, make a good block on the outside, allowing Benjamin to get down the sidelines. Quentin Jackson with a great block, putting his ball carrier down inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line.
So Ansonia will have a first and goal. The football spotted at the 6. Mott out of your picture, out to the left side, the single white out. And they try Quentin Jackson. He slowed up at the line of scrimmage, stopped right there. Number 2, Mike Aldo, got a body on him.
Seymour had great penetration. It looks like Alapater and Mullen just getting down underneath the blockers stopped them at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of about a yard for Ansonia as they're going to take a timeout here to talk it over. 9:48 left to go in this first half. First drive for the Chargers tonight. They've got 3 first downs in this first half, and they have done not an exceptional job yet on either offense or defense. Seymour able to capitalize on a mistake by the Chargers to go up 7-0 here. As you get a look at the fans here at Jarvis Stadium. Beautiful night for football here as we open the season with a very big game in the Naugatuck Valley. The Ansonia Chargers against the Seymour Wildcats. A tough opener for both clubs, really, but a real great game for the fans.
And I think you mentioned, I know I mentioned, the crowd is still coming in to Jarvis Stadium, so we're going to have a real good crowd here. Bleachers on the Seymour side are just about packed. People lining the end zones, and Ansonia stands, Ansonia section filling in quite well. And again, cannot comment enough on the ideal conditions tonight. Little on the cool side.
Ideal for football, just ideal. It's a great night. Ansonia ready to go here at their second down and goal, about the 7-yard line.
And out of that wishbone, it's Tobias Freeman is the up back, and running behind him in the wishbone is Benjamin and Jackson on the option. They pitch to Benjamin, and Benjamin will waltz into the end zone for the Ansonia 6 points.
Second time they've come with the lead option. Quarterback will just step back. Fullback and halfbacks are going to lead around the corner. So he's going to have Freeman and Jackson out in front of him as Benjamin turns the corner. Some great blocks out there again, especially by Quentin Jackson, allowing Benjamin to step into the end zone untouched here. And it's a 7-6 ball game. 9:42 of this second quarter.
And Adam Richmond, junior place kicker for Ansonia, converts on the extra point. And we are all knotted here at 7-all in the second quarter of play. And a reminder to our viewers that at the conclusion of the game, once again, we're going to be making our Seymour Oil Player of the Game presentation, the most valuable player. Buddy, I comment on the weather because you and I, I'm sure we've watched the some of the college football games that opened up a few weeks back.
That looks like the best potato salad in Ansonia, if that's Mr. Deneen, Kevin Deneen. I thought it was Kevin. He has the best potato salad in Connecticut. I love that potato salad. Go ahead, Edward. Man, maybe you'll give me a little next time. But
you know where your mind is.
Oh, man.
When the college football season started, real warm, humid conditions, and I was watching these games and thinking about what you've always said about fluid retention. Awful lot of cramps in those, with a lot of those players, and a living legend right there.
Pop Shortle on the sidelines.
Pop Shortle.
Talked to him earlier. He was fired up, ready for the season.
Leovi kicks it out of bounds.
Second time the Chargers have put the ball out of bounds, and Seymour is going to again take the option, start on the 35. So Seymour, this will be their 5th possession of the first half. Will start on their own 35-yard line.
So the Cats take over at their 35-yard line. 9:42 remaining, and the time is official, being kept up here in the press box. Single setback for the Cats. And Thomas on a slot back around play to Sympathy. His play is spelled out for a loss. The ends pinched on the play, Freeman and Morrow.
Both ends have a team meeting right here with Sympathy about 4 yards back. Play took a long time getting started, in Sympathy really by the time he got the football had no place to go. Good job by Morrow and Freeman. Loss of about 4 for the Seymour offense.
When we talk about the Freeman on the tackle, we got to mention the first name. There's 3 Freemans on defense. Adrian. Handoff, that's to Sympathy. And he stood up. at the line of scrimmage.
Let's just start using his first name because Adrian has been in the backfield more than sympathy here. He is just all over this play as he is unblocked again. Almost gets the handoff. Sympathy lucky to get to the line of scrimmage.
Ron Linder also cleaned up on the play for Ansonia, buddy.
A lot of unblocked blue jerseys here early in this first half into the backfield and really disrupting the Seymour mesh.
So we got a 3rd and 10 coming up from the Cats. They're at their original line of scrimmage for this series at the 35. I-back formation. And Thomas will throw it out to the right side. It was tipped. Could have been number 4 who tipped the football again. Adrian Freeman, one of the Chargers. Anyway, it goes incomplete. See who tips the pass.
Trying to get a screen pass to the
That's
outside.
one of the big ones. That's Wilbur Howard. Got his mitts on the football.
Try to get the ball to Pollock. No go, and Seymour going to be forced to punt the football. So other than that turnover, the Seymour Wildcat offense has really not done anything here in the first half.
Back to punt it away as Sobieski gets a fine high punt. Fielded by Benjamin at the 40. And to the 45 and to the 47. A flag dropped at the 33, and that might be coming back against Ansonia.
I think you're going to see a clip here on the Chargers right there. Number 14 is going to take down number 2 for the Chargers. That's Shriver for Ansonia. And that's going to bring that play back, putting the ball inside the 20-yard line. So as you see, Bruce Brenya there, the referee, he will step off some yardage against the Chargers. A clip against the Ansonia football team, and Ansonia will start inside their own 20.
Ball will be brought down to the 19-yard line, where it will be Ansonia's ball, 1st and 10.
So the line of scrimmage becomes the 18 for Ansonia. Ansonia swings out Mott along with Benjamin. They break the bone and they go the I-back formation. Benjamin to the slot. And they run Jackson out of the tailback spot. He just burrows his way forward for a pair to the 20. And getting up is number 68, Kevin Mullen, at the bottom of the pile, who's had an outstanding preseason for the Cats. And he's an outstanding football player, period. Ansonia back in the bone. Mott out of your picture out to the right side. And they hand off to Jarvis Benjamin. Benjamin for 3 to the 23 before he's taken down by Mullen.
Aldo and Mullen are going to come through here to take Benjamin down. You see number 68 Mullen along with Aldo. Again, the power play by Ansonia. It brings up about a 3rd and 6. Ball right at the 24-yard line for the Chargers.
And this time Mott will go to the other side of the field. Ansonia in the wishbone. And we're going to have some movement on that Seymour line, and Ansonia will pick up that 1st down.
I think they're going to come up a little short. Good hard count by Degna. Drew the Seymour Wildcats into the neutral zone. Watch, he gets a number of them to move. They violate the neutral zone. I think it's going to be 3rd and about a yard for that 1st down. They're just a little short. They had about 6 to get. They're going to need one more. 6:30, 6:53 left to go in the first half.
So we repeat the down. It'll be 3rd and inches, and they're calling for the chains, and that gives us an opportunity to take this timeout.
Valley High School football, Sundays and Fridays at 7 p.m., Mondays at 6 p.m., only on Cable 10.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, the measurement came out in favor of Ansonia. So the Chargers have a 1st down. The line of scrimmage is the 29. It's all tied And Degnan back to throw. Pretty good protection. Throws it out there. It's dropped by Morrow. Dropped. John Morrow all alone. On coverage was Moranek along with DeBona. Case of John just wanting to run with the football before he had it.
Degnan does a good job setting up. Throws a beautiful pass down to Morrow, who has beaten the deep coverage. And then the ball is just dropped. Second down.
2nd and 10. This time Benjamin in your picture out to the left side. Ansonia goes eye back. Under a rush, that is Degnan, and he's going to be called for grounding. All over him was Alapat.
This is a tough call because he tried to get rid of it. I don't think he was really grounding. He just tried to throw it, and he's going to get hit as he releases it. So I don't know if this is grounding because he's just trying to get the ball to his screen man, and that's a tough penalty, and it's going to move, loss it down, and some yardage against the Chargers.
So they'll mark it off down to the 13-yard line, and the loss of a down. So Ansonia has a 3rd and a whole lot of yards. And Degnan looking to throw over the field, throwing it down to Benjamin on the far sidelines. Coverage by Mike Aldo went incomplete, and Ansonia's faced with a 4th and long in a punting situation. 6:21 remaining here in the first half. We've had it. Have a good one for you.
Degnan coming off a little slowly.
For Ansonia. On the hit, David Reese.
David Reese just comes through some blocks here. Watch him come and take the legs out of right out from Matt Thomas. Thomas got about 2 yards on that return, and the Seymour will start on their own 47-yard line, but a great play by number 29 for Ansonia.
So the Cats take over the Ansonia punt at the 48. Single setback, long count, and Thomas hands off inside. Mike Aldo. Lone setback into Ansonia territory, taken down by Petrosky.
Just a midline trap again. Petrosky comes off the block, gets on the back of Sympathy and rides him for about 3 before pulling him down. Seymour will have a 2nd and 5 with 5:46 left to go in this first half. A 7-7 tie here at Jarvis Stadium.
Once again, the same set for Seymour. Aldo, the lone back. 2nd and 6. Thomas again comes back with it. Aldo again, and Aldo cracks across the 45 down to the 43. Petrosky again on the stop for Ansonia.
Just a trap play. You see the left guard, Alapat, come across. Coming behind him, Aldo. Close to that first down. It will bring up a 3rd and short for Seymour. As you get a look at the crowd here on the Ansonia side, a lot of blue here on their side as it's a big 3rd down play for the Wildcats.
3rd and short for Seymour. And Thomas will take it straight ahead. The junior quarterback for the first down to the 39.
Just a little quarterback sneak. He again goes to his right side behind Alapat and Thompson for the first down. The ball inside the 40 at about the Ansonia 39-yard line.
First down for the Cats at the 39. They run Sympathy off the left side, and Matt takes a hit after a pickup of a couple on the play. Morrow around the football for Ansonia.
76, Howard will be on his back, but the tackle is finally made down there by Morrow didn't pick up any yardage, so it'll be a 2nd and 10 for Seymour. You see the ball right at the 39-yard line.
Seymour I-back formation. Thomas hands off, carries out his fake. That's Aldo wrestled down, number 72 and 76. Keith Nelson and Wilbur Howard combine on the Ansonia tackle.
Again, you see the trap. Aldo comes behind that, and you see Howard along with Nelson dragging him down for about a 2-yard gain, and you're going to get a Seymour timeout with 3:19 left to go here in this first half.
Buddy, from what I've seen thus far, Matt Thomas is really running the offense very well. First game starting for the Wildcats, doing a good job carrying up.
Both quarterbacks, I think, have done an excellent job for their first time out, especially in this football game, which certainly is a tough opener for each club. But Thomas certainly has run the offense. It's a much more sophisticated offense than the Wishbone. Get a look at that very interesting puppy down there. But Thomas has done a great job, and he's been able to not make any mistakes and to do, I think, what Bobby Kello has asked him to do, and that's just to try and keep this offense moving forward. As you get a look at Jack Hunt talking to his defensive players on this near side, Benjamin and company, they need to make a stand here. They don't want to give up a touchdown with only 3:19 left to go in this first half. This is really the first time Seymour has moved the football other than the 13 yards they drove for their first score after the turnover. So this is the first time Seymour really has done anything, and it hasn't been that long of a drive, but they put a couple good plays together and are sitting on the Ansonia 37-yard line.
And we have a 3rd and 8 when play resumes. Bottom of your screen, you see Eric Pollock. Just out of your screen is Steve Panaleo. And 3rd down, I-back formation. That'll be Aldo going in motion. Thomas fakes the draw and is dropped by Adrian Freeman, and flags dropped to the Seymour backfield. Adrian, a 5'11", 190-pound junior defensive end.
Every time that Seymour has run this play, the Seymour offensive line just cannot account for all of the blue jerseys. Again, Adrian Freeman is through there. He will get credit for the sack, but there's a lot of blue jerseys in the backfield, and there's a holding penalty along with this. Bruce Brenya signals the hold, and Seymour Ansonia is going to refuse it. They'll take the loss, and it's a punting situation for Seymour. So they lost, went back from the 39 to the Charger 47, and they're going to be forced to kick the football to the Chargers.
And once again, Sobieski back to punt the football away, standing at his 42-yard line, back deep for Ansonia. Benjamin along with Julius Freeman. Ansonia almost gets to the punt, and it's going to just roll dead at the 23-yard line, and that's where the Chargers will take over. Under 3 minutes to go on our Cable 10 Sports Valley High School football game of the week. Ansonia will swing Benjamin out to the left side, out of your picture. And they'll run the I-back formation. Freeman, the ball carrier. That is Tobias, and Sadek on the stop.
Trap play again. You'll see number 75, that's Simmons, traps at the hole. Allows the ball carrier to get up behind him. Get a look at the clock with 2:34 and counting here as Chargers picked up about 4 yards on that play.
And Larova checks in for Mott. They bring the plays in from the Ansonia sidelines. On the option, they pitch it to Quayton Jackson. Jackson bulls his way forward for an Ansonia first down at the 35. Sadek wraps him up there.
Watch Sobieski, number 59, plant quarterback Degna, but Degna does his job, gets the ball outside. Freeman comes around the corner. provides a good block, allowing Jackson to pick up an extra 5 to 6 yards and a first down for the Chargers.
Just a little bit over 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're knotted at 7. Quick handoff. That's to Tobias Freeman. He's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Maybe one on the play.
Chargers are not in their hurry-up offense there. They don't look like they're interested getting out on that football as the clock is running here with 1:40 left to go. Ball at their 36-yard line.
Once again, the I formation for Ansonia. 2 wide receivers either side of the field. Degnan back to throw, pressured. The ball is deflected and almost picked off by Matt Sympathy, and Sympathy had a clear view of the end zone.
Just as quarterback Degnan is going to release
That's
Alapat, he
Ooh.
just gets him. And watch Morrow. Morrow does a great job here of preventing the interception. He's going to go up on the back of the receiver, knocks the ball loose, prevents the interception. Good job by Mike Morrow, or John Morrow, and I think John was a little concerned about interference, didn't realize that that ball is a free football. Does a good job, though, in preventing the turnover. 1:26 left to go, a big 3rd down and 9 for the Chargers.
Now Ansonia with trips to the left side. Single setback, that's Benjamin, and they send him in motion. So we really flooded the zone. That quick pass to Benjamin is incomplete. And again, you're risking a lateral and a free ball. Aldo closest to the play defensively for the Cats.
I didn't think this was, but it is a lateral again.
Close.
Backwards, sure. Benjamin covers it, does a good job. Brings up a punting situation. Seymour will have about a minute here to get their offense back on the field.
Once again, Benjamin with a fine punt down to the 35. It's Eric Pollock. And Pollock is hemmed in at the 40 by a host of Chargers. Led by number 54 for Ansonia. On special teams, Jason Provenzano.
Ball turns over very well for Benjamin, and not a long distance return there as number 88 for Ansonia.
That's Hans Hercule, bud.
Hans Hercule.
Right.
I love that name. Did a great job of making the tackle on Pollock as you get a look at the cheerleaders here on this near side. Minute and 2 seconds for the Seymour Wildcat offense. They go to that slot I to the top of your picture.
Now Sympathy moves out to a wing to the right side, and first down. Time running out. And handing off the football, it's to Aldo, and Aldo streaks down at a 42-yard line before he's stopped by LaRova.
Just the scissors, the quarterback reverses. A lot of people in front of this one. Great block by number 53 for the Seymour Wildcats as it allows Alapat to get into the secondary across midfield to the Charger 43-yard line, and Seymour will take a timeout. And I want to give credit to that young man from Seymour, number 53 on that block, Jason Barker. Good job by Jason Barker, the junior, 6'1", 175-pounder.
And I had the wrong runner in the slot position there to the wing. That was Aldo, who ended up with the football. Anyway, the Cats will have the first down. The clock is official here at Jarvis Stadium. Once again, we get a look at Pop Shortle. Attending still another Ansonia game, as into this football game as any of the ones that he has ever attended.
Look for Seymour and their offense to really open it up here. They really have, once they get across midfield and Bobby Kello, they like to be able to move the football by way of the air route. With 56 seconds and I think 1 timeout left, they're going to have a big player if they want to get something on the board.
Thomas, play fake, winds up, throws it downfield for Sadek, and it's well overthrown. Double coverage. It was Julius Freeman along with Jarvis Benjamin for Ansonia.
Benjamin is going to run step for step with the tight end Tim Sadek as he just comes off the line and runs a streak straight down the hash. Thomas does a good job of getting the ball up, but never has a chance for completing this one as Benjamin was well and did a great job in coverage. You get a look into that Seymour huddle. It's going to be a second down, and Seymour's going to take a few shots here at the end zone with 50 seconds left and 3 plays left in this first half.
Ball at the Ansonia 43, or under a minute to go. First half, we're knotted at 7. Play fake. Thomas wants to screen it out there, but it was 76. Keith Nelson, or check that, Wilbur Howard along with John Morrow, who really were all over Thomas.
Try to get the screen, and Thomas is going to be unable to get it over either 76, who gets the tip, Chris Thompson, or excuse me, Wilbur Howard, and going to bring up a big third down for Ansonia, or for the Seymour Wildcats.
But both John Morrow and Wilbur Howard, they both go 6'3". That height really helps you.
Notice how they got their hands up also for you young guys, and forcing the quarterback to throw over and getting the tip.
Seymour trips to the left side. Thomas with good time, throws it out there. It is off the fingertips of Eric Pollock. And Pollock had beaten the Ansonia defense.
This is the second time that Thomas is going to put the ball in a catchable position for Pollock. He did it in the first quarter. Pollock is out. He beats the safety, just cannot pull it in, and it will be a 4th down for the Wildcats. 39 seconds left in this first half.
And Sobieski gets it off, punts it away. Benjamin fields it at the 5, a wall to the far side, and Benjamin is dragged down at the 14-yard line.
Good coverage by that Seymour special teams. Benjamin goes back over his shoulder to the 5, and I know the coaching staff at Ansonia is not going to like that, but when this guy gets the football, he can go the distance. Again, Mullen with great coverage, the senior getting down there and planting Benjamin.
And apparently there was a penalty assessment against the Cats that we missed up here, because the line of scrimmage now becomes the 29-yard line. Maybe a personal foul. And
some violation there by the Wildcats, and
that might mean, Bud, that Ansonia will just not sit on it at this point. They might.
They're sitting. They're in the wishbone. They're not going to take a chance here.
Okay, they want to go in knotted at 7. And handing it off to Captain Tobias Freeman, and he gets close to the yard to gain.
Again, just the trap. You see number 75, David Simmons, come across the formation, kicks the end out, allows the running back to get up behind it. As Eddie said, very close to that first down. It's going to be a 2nd and short, and Ansonia is taking a timeout. 23 seconds left to go here in this first half. I think Ansonia is a little concerned with Jack Degna throwing the football right now, and they may not want to, especially at the field position they had inside the 30, want to put it up. Now they're closer to the 40. They may want to risk a pass here, but considering the way Degnan has thrown the football in the first half, I don't think they want to risk a turnover, even with 23 seconds left to go.
2nd and short. Let's see what they do. It's at the 38-yard line, I-back formation, and Degnan is looking to throw. Airs it out downfield into a crowd. It is picked off by the Cats at the 25, and that is Matt Thomas on the pick.
This is just a straight run down the field and heave it. Degnan gets back, gets good protection, releases the football, and is almost going to get a completion. Ball is knocked down as they try and get Benjamin deep.
Well, I thought it was a pick. It goes incomplete then. So we go to 3rd and about a foot for Ansonia, and we've got 15 ticks remaining here in the first half of play. And once again, Degnan to throw. They screen it, and it is picked off! Picked off by Sadek at the 20, the 10, and Sadek runs it into the end zone. And what Buddy talked about came true. Degnan's pass was picked off, and Sadek, with a little bit of a juggling act, but the senior captain gathered it in and went in for the score.
There's going to be some pressure right inside. Number 57 just comes right through to put a lot of pressure. That's Alapat. Now watch the juggling act here by Sadik, but boy, he just has great hands, good concentration. He's going to go about 40 yards on that interception, and that's what you don't want to have happen. Sadik with the return, and Seymour with a 13-7 lead here. Pollock tries for the conversion to put Seymour ahead by 7.
And Eric Pollock drills it through the uprights, and 7 ticks remaining. And the Cats on a big, big play by Tim Sadik go up by 7.
That play was caused by the great rush by Alex Alapat, the captain, senior, 6 foot, 200 pounds. He just came busting through, really gave Degnan no place to go as Degnan released it. Sadik was in that screen, and he just did a great job of balancing the football, concentrating, and taking off into the end zone. So 7 seconds left to go here in this first half, and that's again another turnover that the Wildcats have been able to convert into points.
And both scores, of course, off turnovers in the first quarter. Ansonia fumbling the football away on that backward pass. Seymour getting it at the 13, going in on the short drive. And now just this, Sadik on the intercept with 15 ticks remaining. Big, big play by the senior captain. Sobieski to kick it off. And it rolls out of bounds.
I think Ansonia will force him to kick again. Their best shot is to get the ball into the hands of one of the Freemans, especially number 1 there, Jarvis, and he could go the distance at any time, so they're going to force Ansonia or force Seymour to kick the football back. And if I was Seymour, I would be very interested in not seeing number 1 carry it back at this point in this first half. Matter of fact, I might be destined for an onside kick here. Let it roll around here. Kick it off one of the up men and hope you get a 7-second tick. Not allowing Ansonia to play, but I would certainly not allow number 1 to touch it. And I'd say I wouldn't be too interested in seeing number 48 carry it either.
And Sobieski drills it, and it's going to be in the hands of Freeman. Julius, he looked at lateral, and he moves the football well across the 40 to the 43-yard line, but time is run out here in the first half of play at Jarvis Stadium in Ansonia. Our first half score, Seymour 14 and Ansonia 7. We'll be coming right back with the halftime activities right after these words. We're at halftime here at Jarvis Stadium in Ansonia. Our halftime score, Seymour 14 and Ansonia 7. And we have the Seymour girls out there entertaining the people.
Ansonia Pom-Poms. We'll introduce them to you. Terry Williams, Katie Erfeld, Jessica Norris, Kelly German.
And you see it at every high school football game, some kind of activity like we've just seen out there in the center of the field. Those were the Ansonia High School Pom-Pom girls, and they were preceded by the Seymour High School Pom-Pom girls. Let's go now to our Valley Worthy of Note feature.
Welcome to Valley Worthy of Note, a bi-weekly update of people, places, and events making news in your communities. 11-year-old Melanie Yustin of Seymour has waged a lifelong battle with spina bifida, but after a lengthy surgery to correct severe scoliosis, things are looking up for the Bungay School 6th grader. Town officials declared August 23, 1997, Melanie Yustin Day. A spinal jacket she wore for the past year was recently removed, and Melanie can now enjoy the special bicycle and computer that were bought for her through the support and generosity of the community. The Wall That Heals made its way into Oxford, accompanied by a contingent from the Vietnam Veterans Motorcycle Club and First Selectman Paul Schreiber. By the next morning, the half-scale replica of the Vietnam Memorial in Washington was set up, and the site was dressed with shrubs, flowers, trees, and of course, flags. People from all over the area, including school groups, came to view the wall. Some brought flowers, some searched for the names of friends and family. With the assistance of many volunteers, people were able to locate a familiar name among the 58,202 inscriptions that include 612 Connecticut casualties. Bob Fitzgerald, one of the original organizers, knows how meaningful the visit has been.
Well, it's a lot of hard work over the last year and a half, and it's obviously paying off here, as you can see. And it just with the entire committee involved here, there was just so many hours. I just don't even fully understand how everyone has given up part of their life to make this happen that's on our committee.
Last June, acting Shelton Police Chief Sam Horlak sought out a high school artist to design a poster in an attempt to improve relations between police and local youth. 18-year-old Adam Woods sketched layouts which depicted a police badge and the department's motto. After the design was decided upon, Adam, who plans to continue his education in hopes of teaching someday, added outline and color to complete the picture. The Shelton Police Department matted and framed the poster, which will be proudly displayed in the department's main hallway. Scooter and Nellie paid a welcome visit to the Doyle Senior Center in Ansonia recently. Along with their human friends, they represented the North Shore Animal League Senior to Senior program. The outreach program being offered throughout Connecticut tries to match older dogs with seniors and educate people in the right ways to treat animals.
A dog, a cat, a kitten, a puppy is a great companion. There's somebody that you can talk to tell your troubles to, and also let you know that there is love and attention being given to you. Sometimes family and friends can't be with you, but a pet will always be by your side.
Finally, two communities, Shelton and Seymour, will be voting on new middle schools in the near future. Shelton is looking to replace their intermediate school, and residents will vote on October 6th. The vote, deciding the fate of Seymour's 76-year-old middle school, is tentatively scheduled for November 24th. Valley Worthy of Note has been a presentation of Telemedia Company.
Welcome back, and we are moments away from the second half kickoff on our Cable 10 Sports Valley High School football game of the week. And teeing the football up, the tri-captains for the Seymour Wildcats, that is Troy Sobieski. Back deep for Ansonia, Benjamin along with Julius Freeman. Seymour leads it 14-7, end over end. And Freeman lets Benjamin take the football, and Benjamin is swarmed under at the 25-yard line by number 57, Alex Alapap.
Coach, ball will bounce over Freeman's head to Benjamin, and then Benjamin is going to get stuck by Alapat right about here. Good job by Alapat and company bringing him down, and ball at the 25-yard line. Coaches like to talk about the third quarter, especially the beginning of the third quarter, is a very important part. We'll see how Ansonia handles being down here 14-7.
Well, that's one of the captains of Ansonia, Tobias Freeman, taking the football forward on first down.
Just a trap to Freeman as they reverse pivot, and then coming behind it, Freeman into the linebacking core will pick up about 5.5, maybe 6 yards on that first down carry.
So second and short for Ansonia out of the wishbone. Degnan pitches. That is Benjamin. And Benjamin still handling the football, still on his feet as he appears to have picked up a first down out across the 35. It is an Ansonia first down. Stopped by DeBona.
Watch DeBona. He's going to get knocked on his back, and then he's just going to get right here. He gets knocked down. Watch, he'll still keep his arms up, and he's going to get a piece of Benjamin right there as Benjamin actually runs into him. But good job by DeBona, even though he was knocked down, having the presence of mind to keep his hands free and to help on that tackle.
Out of your picture, out to the left side is Larova. He alternates with Mott at that spot. Again, that is Jarvis Benjamin, this time on the first down carry.
Just the power again, following his blocking backs right up inside off tackle. It's following Jackson and Freeman. Picks up a couple, ball at the 40-yard line of the Chargers.
And to the bottom part of your screen, that is Larova at the 40. On the pitch, a loose ball. It's picked up by the Wildcats.
Seymour tried to run with it, and they're going to come up with the turnover on that. Not a bad pitch on the lead option. Watch the ball go to number 32. That's Jackson, and the ball just pops out. He never has possession of it. Seymour's going to come up with that turnover. The ball's going to get kicked around, and the Wildcats again with another turnover on the 35-yard line, about the 37-yard line of the Chargers. So Seymour's done a good job of converting points on turnovers. Let's see what they do with this one. As they start on the 35, 10:28 left to go in this third quarter.
First and 10 for the Cats, I-back formation. Pollock out to the left. That's Sympathy guarding the football. And he stopped after a short pickup on the play. Carter meeting him from the secondary.
First time Seymour tries to get outside as they'll bounce it out. Sympathy comes out. Good block inside by Aldo, pinning the Freeman, and then Carter comes up, takes on Sympathy. About a 2.5 to 3 yard gain as the ball just across the 40-yard line there on about the 39.5 of the Chargers.
Pollock and Panaleo to the same side. Single setback. Thomas to Sadik. Incomplete. Coverage by Carter.
A lot of contact on Sadik by Carter, but I think he does a great job. Sadik just comes off the line. They just try and throw a little bit of a fade route, and Carter stays right with him. Coming over there was number 48, Julius Freeman, but good coverage by Fred Carter, the senior. Brings up a big third here for the Seymour Wildcats on the 39. Maybe 4-down territory also for Seymour, especially if they can pick up a couple yards here, making it a 4th and makeable.
3rd and 7. Spotted at the 34 of Ansonia, just into the third quarter of play. Handoff inside, that's to Aldo. He is stopped dead in his tracks.
He lost 2 on that one. It would be an interesting call here for Paul Sponheimer. They try and come with a trap. They had pretty good success with the midline option, and this one goes nowhere. And it's going to be a very easy decision for Seymour. They're going to punt the football and try and get pretty good field position, pin the Chargers back inside their 20.
Once again, Sobieski to punt it away, standing at the Ansonia 48. And he sails it. And Benjamin handles it at the 10, the near sidelines, and he bumped out of bounds as he crosses the 20-yard line.
Benjamin just wants to get his hands on the football as he gets across the 20. Jack Hunt there exchanging a little bit of pleasantries with one of the side judges, but watch Freeman sidestep a couple tackles and pick up close to 10 yards as he gets across the 20. And Coach Hunt was concerned about that last tackle as Freeman was knocked into the near side fence. Ansonia will start on their own 23-yard line.
Still 1st and 10 for Ansonia. Wishbone formation. They're down by 7. They hand on the quick hitter to Tobias Freeman, and Freeman cracks it out close to the 30-yard line. Good pickup on 1st down.
Freeman just comes behind the handoff. Just a little reverse pivot by Degna on the trap play. As Eddie said, pretty good yardage for the 1st down carry. Better than 5+ for Freeman.
2nd and 5. This time they'll try Benjamin out of the wishbone. Benjamin, a loose ball. It is picked. It was Benjamin fumbled the ball midair. I think that might have been Kevin Mullen who has come up with the football.
68, it's going to be
Kevin Mullen.
Ball is going to bounce right out of Freeman's hands. Watch Freeman break this. Again, the power to the right side, and as he breaks through, right here, he's going to just lose the football, and it's just going to bounce up into the hands. It's actually
stripped. It was stripped.
Number 27, DeBona, does a good job of stripping it. Coming up with it is Mullen, and Freeman just tries to get it back, unable to do so, and Seymour again with the 4th turnover of the game on the Charger 46-yard line. So give credit to DeBona on that one for the turnover.
So Seymour has it on the turnover at the Ansonia 46. Sadek will set up, tight end to the left side. 1st down, Cats lead it 14-7. Handoff, Sympathy, he has stood up. Let's see who made the play for Ansonia. Good individual tackle, Ron Linder in his inside backer spot.
Seymour has been unable to account for 1 or 2 of the blue jerseys all night. This time it's Linder. Ron Linder, the senior, just comes right up with a picture-perfect tackle. Stands up the ball carrier. No gain, actually about a yard loss. Be a 2nd and 11 for the Seymour Wildcat offense. And Seymour with 2 very good field positions here in this 2nd half, just running into some very tough Charger defense.
Seymour floods the left side with receivers. They hand off to the lone back. Little yardage inside. That was Aldo, the ball carrier.
Try and give the ball to the fullback on a little bit of a belly ride, and looks like Petrotsky got the first hit. Number 65 just knocked him back. Brings up a 3rd and long for the Wildcats at the Charger 46-yard line.
Out to the left side, the bottom part of your screen. That is Panaleo along with Paula. 3rd and long with the football at the Ansonia 46.
Got trips, and then they go to that wideout, so they got 4 quick receivers.
And breaking across the line for Ansonia, it's Keith Nelson. And they're going to say that Seymour drew Nelson off.
Back into Seymour territory to the 49-yard line. Bring up a 3rd and 15.
Give credit to the Charger defense because they are coming up big here after the turnovers. Another touchdown here by Seymour might make it very difficult for the Charger offense to get back into this football game. So the defense is coming up big here. It's a 3rd and about 16 for Seymour.
3rd and 16 it is at their 49-yard line. Scissors action. Running the football, Mike Aldo, and Aldo has the 1st down to the 30-yard line.
2nd time they run that scissors to Aldo as quarterback will come out reverse. Aldo comes from the slot or from the tight wing. You just see him coming back. You see Sadek and company leading him through, and once he gets into the middle, there's really no one there. He's going to pick up the 1st down yardage on the Ansonia 30-yard line. So a great run by Aldo.
Timeout on the field. Time in for this.
So you're a grease monkey?
Automotive technician.
Really?
You can't see that?
I thought it was a new kind of nail polish.
I work in the dealership. I've been working there for about 2 years. It's an apprenticeship program.
How are things changing?
Cars are going more towards electric. The same computer systems on them that the first space shuttle had.
So the practical is worth an awful lot.
Yeah, like I teach my teachers.
A little bit over 6 minutes to go. Mike Aldo is converted on an important 3rd and long for the Cats. It's a first down, now down at the 30-yard line. Seymour leads at 14-7. NVL battle on Cable 10 Sports. Running the football, a gaping hole. That is Matt Sympathy down inside the 25 before he's upended by Carter.
Here's what Seymour likes to use. I think they call it their wind back, but Sympathy gets in there. You're going to see Freeman get a good hit here, and Carter knocking him down after Freeman takes him low, but a big gain here of about 8 yards for the Wildcats as they're down inside the 25.
2nd and short for the Cats. High back formation. A handoff, that's to Sympathy. This time it's Nelson who gets the first piece of him, cleaned up by Adrian Freeman.
Still a lot of individuals getting through there. You see number 72, Nelson, almost ran by it, able to get back and get a piece of Sympathy. About 1.5 yards to 2 yard loss. It'll be a big 3rd down, a little less than 5, probably 4.5 yards for the first down.
And the Cats will send Panaleo along with Pollock out to the right side. Sadik, the tight end, set up to the left. And Thomas on a quarterback sneak or draw, whatever have you. And Thomas, I think by the spot, might have picked up the first down to the 20. It'll depend on the spot, but it looks like he has it.
Linder's going to get a piece of him on this quarterback sneak. See number 2 knock the legs out from Matt Thomas, and we'll wait to see whether they have made it or not as they're going to bring the chains out to take a look. All right, Edward. Did he or didn't he? What's your guess
I
here?
think he made it. I think he made it.
And he did by more than the football. So Seymour will continue to drive right at the 20-yard line. Jack Hunt walking away. Certainly has to be concerned here. Bobby Lisi and company, coaching staff, needs that defense to come up big here. They don't want to go down by more than 1 touchdown to this Seymour football team with 4:26 left to go in this 3rd quarter.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats at the Ansonia 20. Single setback. Again, the soft middle. That is Matt Thomas running the football inside the 15-yard line. What a job Thomas has done here this evening.
I don't know whether that's Thomas's decision or whether it's coming from upstairs, but it's a great call again as the soft middle, as Eddie just said, has allowed Thomas to get up in for good yardage. Again, Linder will make the tackle, but not before Thomas gets down inside the 15-yard line for the Wildcats. So Seymour has been able to take advantage of that quarterback and the quarterback sneak and the quarterback draw that was put in for this football game. And Matt Thomas has done an excellent job running the ball for the Wildcats.
It'll be a 2nd and short for the Cats inside the 15. Single setback is Sympathy. And a fake pitch. They hand to Aldo, and Aldo spins out of a tackle. Adrian Freeman had him at the line of scrimmage. Aldo fought his way forward for another Wildcat first down.
Watch Freeman. He'll set up as Aldo comes through. He just cannot wrap up, and Aldo with very good body lean and drive is able to pull free for the first down inside the 10. It's a 1st and goal for the Wildcat offense.
1st and goal. Sadik the tight end to the left side. The Cats looking to get up by 2 scores. Matt Thomas feels his way at the 5 into the end zone. Touchdown Seymour. What a performance by Thomas.
Matt Thomas is just feeling that inside, and maybe we'll get a chance to talk to him after the game, whether this was his own decision or whether it's coming in from the sidelines. Whatever way, boy, it's just a great call. Thomas across from the 7, and it puts the Wildcats ahead by a 20-7 score with 3:07 left to go in this 3rd quarter. So again, a turnover converted into points by the Wildcats.
And Pollock will attempt to
convert on the extra point. Pressure by Ansonia. The kick is off. It is up. It is good. And our score with 3:07 remaining in the third quarter, Seymour 21, Ansonia 7. And Buddy, the dilemma for Ansonia, as I see it, is the fact that they have really not shown that they can throw the football. Now they're down by 2 scores. They're in a dilemma.
Wishbone offenses do not like to be down by more than 1 touchdown because you just take a long time in that bone, especially the power, to try and move the football. You're grinding out 4, 5, 6 yards. With Freeman, you always hope that he can get free for the big score, but you still have a long way to go. And with Jarvis Benjamin, there's always that opportunity for the big play, but still, you get a look on the sidelines, the Chargers have to be concerned at this point in the football game. Wishbone is not a real come-from-behind offense, so we're going to see what the Chargers can do here.
3:07 remaining here in the third quarter. And Sobieski puts his foot in with authority. Benjamin at the 5. Benjamin trying to pick his way. Let's see if we can give credit to the initial hit for the Seymour Wildcats. A great tackle there. Number 54 looked to be Mike Kapusta on great tackle.
Benjamin takes it at about the 4-yard line, comes straight up the field. Kapusta just going to settle and make the stop right here as he plays through a couple of blocks. Benjamin down, and the Chargers got about 76 yards to go for a touchdown.
Well, Ansonia is out of the bone, an I-back formation. They're going to try to throw it up. And we're going to have an interference call against the Wildcats. Benjamin was banged into by Pollock on the play, so that'll be a 15-yard mark-off and an automatic first down from the line of scrimmage.
Benjamin just tries to beat the outside corner. That's number 24 who runs into him. That's Pollock, and Pollock knocks him down. It'll be a 15-yard first down penalty. The ball come up to the 40. One of the things in high school football rules I'd like to see changed is that 15-yarder. You should get the ball where the penalty is, but
that's the way it was a long time ago.
Yeah, well, it induces interference. You know, you don't lose anything by knocking the guy. All you're going to get is 15.
Handoff inside to Freeman, and he is stacked up after a short pickup on the play. And one of the Cats looks to be cramps out there down on the field.
Cramps are always a problem, especially early in the season, as they again try to come with Freeman on the trap. Seymour does a good job reading it. See Freeman a little frustrated as he threw the ball down there. I don't know who's on the ground, but they're just trying to get that cramp. Treat that cramp. Get that guy back into the game. But once you get them, they're tough to get rid of. They are really tough, and you need to just get back and get some fluids, replace the fluids that you've lost, and you have a tendency to cramp up more than once. And you know, all of us who've had a cramp, they hurt. They're painful.
2:39 remaining here as we await the jersey number.
And if the Chargers want to sink Seymour, this is a big drive for them. They've got to have something here. They're starting to run out of time. They've got to have some big plays from their offense.
And we're going to get a look. That is Chris Thompson, 6 foot, 270 pound senior. And Chris trying to work off that cramp as you see him walking off on his own power. Bud's right, those cramps are painful and they're just hard to get rid of. Your second and 9 for Ansonia. Line of scrimmage the 41. The Chargers go wishbone. And they're going to run Benjamin. And Benjamin still on his feet as he gets all the way down to the 43-yard line of Seymour before stopped by Sadik.
Watch Benjamin follow his blockers very well. Almost breaks it here as he stays low. Sadik gets on his back. He'll get help. Number 12 also in there, Matt Thomas, who's gone both ways for Seymour, but across the 50 to about the 44.
And they try Freeman, and there's nothing there. And big hit by Mullen. 6'1", 212-pound senior nose guard.
Ansonia went to the well maybe once too often on this play as they've had good success. This time Mullen comes off the block, meets Freeman right at the line of scrimmage. Ball at the 45-yard line. We're down to under 2 minutes in this third quarter.
2nd and 10, line of scrimmage, the Seymour 45. Ansonia goes back to the I-back. And play fake. Degnan looking to the left. It throws to no one out there at the 30-yard line.
That's a grounding. There's no question about that one. Bruce Brenius, no question about this one as Degnan comes out of the screen. Seymour to the top of your picture does a great job of recognizing it. They're trying to get 87 Morrow out there. Seymour's all over it. Degnan, rather than taking the sack, he really throws it to no one at the 30-yard line, and that's going to cost them the yardage and the down. Good call that time by Bruce Brenya, the referee tonight, on that intentional grounding penalty.
And Ansonia goes trips to the left side. A single setback is Tobias Freeman. Degnan back to throw, pressure, moves to his right, moves out of the pocket, throws it downfield, overthrows his intended receiver Benjamin at the 35 coverage by Thomas.
Got a Seymour player down, one of the guys chasing Degnan. Degnan feels the pressure and then comes to this near side. Benjamin comes from the top and just tries to get open coming to the near sidelines. Almost gets the completion here just over the head of Benjamin as again one of the Seymour players down right in front of you, and again it is the cramp, leg cramp. So we're going to have another couple minutes here while the training staff works on, and I think it's again number 76, isn't it? Or am I wrong here? It's still that same young man for Seymour. Chris Thompson, I think it is. Eddie, next week we've got a great one also. We're going to go down to Shelton. West Haven that has had a lot of preseason hype for a couple of players that they've been able to put in paths that came over from Notre Dame are going to entertain the Shelton Gales. And right now we are told that the Gales are enjoying a 44-0 lead in their opening game against Brantford. West Haven ahead against Madison 14-3. So next week may be a very interesting game, and we're going to get a chance to be on MSG also with that one, as that'll be Madison Square Garden's game of the week. Again, going off, this is Mullen.
That's Mullen. So Thompson went off before, and now this is Mullen.
And the Chargers can't even take advantage of Mullen getting out of there on defense, as they're going to be forced to punt the football here after that penalty. So Mullen and Thompson are off by way of the root of cramps, and you can see both young men hobbling on the sidelines right now, just trying to get back so that they can get into this football game. 1:33 left in this third quarter.
And Benjamin will punt it away for Ansonia. He sails it in the direction of Matt Thomas. It takes an Ansonia roll out of bounds inside the 10-yard line, maybe at the 5.
Thomas playing it very conservative, but you don't want to back yourself up right now if you're Seymour, because they're going to be around the 5. And they've got a couple guys on offense that are not going to play right now, Mullen being one of them. So this is going to present a problem for their offensive line. Mullen is that right tackle. Thompson is the left tackle. And right now it looks like both guys, well, Thompson is back in there. Mullen is not. So they're only going to lose one of the players, and see if Mullen can get back in there.
First and 10 for the Cats at the 6-yard line. Backed up near their end zone. Thomas running the football, junior, for 1 on the play.
Again, the quarterback sneak. This time he will follow his right guard. That's Jason Barker. Just trying to get up inside, pick up whatever yardage you can.
Don't tell me that looks like Allopat. Looks like he is limping a little bit. Allopat in the preseason has been hampered somewhat by a bad ankle. He was declared ready to go for this game. Alex is limping a little bit. So the Cats losing some of these linemen. Under a minute to go. 2nd and 9 for Seymour at their 9. Straight handoff, that's to Aldo, and Mike cracks it out close to the 10-yard line.
See number 69 coming across on the trap, trying to get Aldo free. Ansonia recognized they did a good job, and
the clock is running down. Seymour Wildcats letting it run down. The clock is official down to 5, and that'll do it for the 3rd quarter of play here at Jarvis Stadium in Ansonia. Our 3rd quarter score, Seymour 21, Ansonia 7.
Your parents are always bugging you to get out of the house and get some exercise. But you've got your own way of doing things. You're your own person. You don't need to follow the crowd or the rules. And the last people you want to be like are your parents.
Johnny, tell them what they want.
Welcome back, everyone. 4th quarter of play, 12 minutes to go. Seymour leads it 21-7. Cats have a 3rd and 7. They're inside their 10. Thomas on the quarterback keeper, faked inside, and the junior quarterback has picked up the first down. Chargers are signaling a fumble. There was a late fumble on the play, and Ansonia's come up with it at the 22.
this is a very big play for the Chargers, obviously, but Seymour almost made it a bigger play. As Thomas comes through, he's going to lose the football right here as he gets knocked down, loses the ball. Ansonia is going to come up with the turnover on the 20-yard line. So Ansonia needs to cash in on this series.
Ball at the 21 of Seymour. Wishbone offense. They give it to Benjamin, and Benjamin for a pair down to the 18-yard line.
Benjamin just follows his blockers, Freeman and Jackson. The power to the left or to the right side. Picks up a couple.
Derek Jones bear hugged Benjamin at that point. Derek, 6 foot, 230-pound junior defensive tackle. Second down for Ansonia. On the option, there's the pitch. Clayton Jackson, he's going to be stopped from behind. Good pursuit by the Wildcats. Troy Sobieski from his defensive end spot.
Sobieski does an excellent job of reading and then getting to the outside before Jackson can turn the corner. He's going to get help from Steve DeBona. Between them, they rope Jackson for a loss. It'll bring up a third and about 7. Big, big series for the Chargers.
I'd say. Wishbone for Ansonia. On the option to the wide side. They'll pitch to Benjamin. He's going to be stopped for a loss on the play. Let's see who turned it in. I believe it was Sadik who turned it in along with Sobieski. Big, big defensive play.
Lead option again. Watch 59 at the top of your picture. Play off Morrow, then come off the block, get up into it, gets help, makes the stop. Great job by Seymour, as they have seen that play all night, and they've done an excellent job against that lead option here in the last 2 plays. So it's a 4th down for the Chargers. They've got about 13 yards to get the first down as they wide split everyone.
And Degden on 4th and long, throws over the middle, well overthrown. He had an open receiver. Larova was open, but Degden overthrew him. Incomplete pass, and the Cats will take over on downs.
Just trying to get over to the right hash is Larova as they ran 4 guys right down the middle. You see how wide open he is and how far away the ball when it lands. So the Wildcats have dodged a bullet. They're going to take a timeout with 9:56 left to go in this 4th quarter, and that's a big defensive stand for the Seymour Wildcats.
Buddy, while we have a little break, maybe you and I have talked on the phone a couple of nights ago.
Hey, Mike Weedle, what a kid, huh? If you got a chance last week to watch Mike Weedle play on ESPN Thursday night, the Naval Academy against
it was Wake Forest.
Wake Forest.
Forest eventually won the game, but Weedle starred on defense for the Naval Academy. But in researching Weedle's role in Seymour, Weedle played on the Wildcat championship team back in 1993. He played at that cornerback spot, and I did a little research and just dug out the Seymour offense for 1993.
When I was with the Seymour Pop Warner team, he did a great job. His father was involved with the coaching along with his brother, and he came through the Pop Warner through to Seymour, played cornerback and also running back for Seymour. He just did an excellent job last week. 5'5", they picked on him, started to pick on him, and he just handled it all, and by the end of the game, they didn't want to find him. And I know his mom and dad and his family have to be very proud of what he's accomplished, and just great to see a Valley kid go on and, you know, to reach some deal of success and to play for the Naval Academy.
And that was a great team he played on. That's the 1993 Seymour Wildcat Championship team. They defeated Bloomfield for the title. Running the football is Sympathy, and there was a Sympathy on that team. Kevin Sympathy on the 1993 team. This is Matt Sympathy, eating up a huge chunk of yardage before he stopped by Larova.
Good block by the fullback against Freeman, allows Sympathy to get through. He's got some good blocks from his outside receivers, picks up a first down, and watch out if these Wildcats can just start playing ball control here. They're down to 9:40 left to go. That Charger offense or defense right now needs a stop. They need a turnover again, and they've got to get some points real quick.
High back formation for the Cats at the 36-yard line. Thomas on the option, holds on. He's dragged down by Howard. Sophomore defensive tackle for Ansonia after a short pickup.
Again, they come with the option. They fake to the fullback. Quarterback decides to turn it up. He's going to run into a lot of blue jerseys. Big number 76, Wilbert Howard. First guy he runs into, he'll pick up maybe a yard on that first down carry. So it'll be a 2nd and 9 from about the 37-yard line of Seymour.
And they'll send Aldo to a wing position to the right side. Single setback, that's Sympathy. And the scissors. That's to Aldo. And Aldo, midfield.
Hello!
30, being pursued to the 20, to the 10. Dragged from behind by Carter. But Mike Aldo down to the Ansonia 10-yard line.
Little, again, misdirection, and Seymour's had great success. They just run the reverse, little bit of inside scissors. 2 guards coming through on the lead block. Aldo into the secondary. Great blocks by the outside receivers. This becomes a foot race. Aldo is going to get caught by Carter at about the 16-yard line, but for Seymour, they are knocking on the door here with 8:30 left to go, and they put this one in. This is going to be all she wrote if they can get this one into the end zone.
That play has worked beautifully for the Wildcats. It's diagrammed by offensive coordinator Bob Kello. Freeman, along with younger brother Adrian Freeman. Tobias and Adrian combine on the stop.
This is a blitz, and boy, both linebackers are coming. And
it's Thomas who stopped on the play.
Tobias just gets a piece of the quarterback right at the line of scrimmage. Actually lost about a half a yard, so it'll be a 2nd down for the Wildcats at about the Ansonia 17-yard line.
And this will cap it if the Wildcats can get in. This should cap a big victory in the first game of the season. Again, this is Matt Thomas on the option. Holds onto the football, spins out of a tackle, and gets into the end zone. What a run by the junior quarterback.
This is the third score for number 12, Matt Thomas. He runs the option, does a good job inside on the read, and then beats Freeman to the inside, and then just does a good job of shedding tacklers, and he's going to get in for the third score by Matt Thomas and the fourth touchdown by the Wildcat offense.
And
so
when we come back after the touchdown, I'm going to tell you about a little conversation I had with Coach Sponheimer just last night about Matt Thomas and the decision process that went into Matt Thomas being the quarterback.
not a bad decision process, because this young man has just had a great evening here.
Paul Sponheimer was very, very ill when I met with him last night, but bad cold or not, I'm sure Paul is very, very happy.
Well, as Seymour, you want him to throw a little bit. He really hasn't thrown the football that much. Had a couple successful throws, but he has really run the football with a great deal of authority. Had some good leadership, outstanding leadership on the field. And right now, the old Wildcat offense may be ahead by 3 touchdowns here, or 21 points if Pollock can convert.
And Eric Pollock's point after his block, it was Morrow along with Jackson, Tobias Freeman, Joe Cardella, all coming in on the kick and blocking it.
There's a lot of blue jerseys in on this one.
So the kick is no good, but the Wildcats have gone up by a score of 27-7. Let's take this timeout.
This fall, Telemedia is proud to announce the addition of Marcus Communications to the Telemedia family. This merger will provide Telemedia the opportunity to reshape your cable TV viewing experience with new and exciting services. As a leader in entertainment and communication services, Telemedia is committed to the continuing improvement of the telecommunications network serving your community. Welcome to the Telemedia family. Welcome to the future of cable TV.
Welcome back, everyone. And our Wildcats have taken what appears to be an insurmountable lead over Ansonia in our Cable 10 Sports Valley opener here on our Valley High School football game of the week, 27-7. Matt Thomas going in for another Seymour score. Buddy, it was Paul Sponheimer's conversation with me about the selection process. Wildcats really wanted off spring. They wanted Seth Moranek, a promising quarterback off the freshman team. They wanted him the quarterback. Paul Sponheimer, although saw something in the preseason this year, he saw that Seth was not running. No offense to Seth. Seth is a young player, only a sophomore, was not running the offense and was not getting the quickness he wanted in his offense. He went to Bobby Kello, and he went to Bobby Kello even before that first scrimmage, and he says, Bobby, we're going to have Seth Moranek go in that first scrimmage, but our quarterback has to be Matt Thomas. Sobieski short punt, rather kickoff, comes to one of the Ansonia upmen, number 2 for Ansonia. And that is Ron Linder, one of the upmen on the kickoff return team. Sobieski, Troy Sobieski on the stop. And I talked to Paul Sponheimer furthermore about that decision. We talked about it in preseason. The Seymour coaching staff, they really place a lot of demands on. You want to play quarterback for Seymour, you've got a lot of demands running that offense. Degnan, a little bit of indecision, just throws it up there, incomplete. Degnan's had a rough evening and a lot of cats in on him.
One of the problems when you're a wishbone team is that if you have to really go back and throw and you haven't worked on it in practice, it becomes a very difficult situation, especially trying to come from behind. And it looks as if Jack Degnan, who is new at this position, is really struggling with the pass part of the offense. It'll be a 2nd and 10, and he's got to come up big here if the Chargers are going to get back in this.
Into the short side, he rifles it, but it is incomplete, well off the mark. He was going for Jared Mott, 6'1", 190-pound sophomore, split end.
Just trying to hit an out route. Degnan has time, but he just overthrows it. Ball sails a little bit on him, unable to make the completion. It's going to be a big third down for the Chargers.
It'll be a 3rd and 10 for Ansonia. 7:10 remaining in the game, 27-7. The Wildcats, it's Larova in motion. Degnan back to throw, pretty good protection, throws it out, overthrows Jarvis Benjamin, who was open on the play.
Ansonia gets into a trips formation. They're going to have 2 guys run down into that far outside seam. You see number 1 running really wide open. That's Jarvis Benjamin. Again, Degnan just a little bit overthrowing, just unable to get his ball down into the hands of the receivers. It's going to be a 4th down. I'm surprised Ansonia's punting, but
well, Benjamin and his punting. Great punt, as a matter of fact. Rolls dead at the 9-yard line for the Cats. 6:53 remaining.
Seymour, I think, will play it very conservative, even if they go 3 plays and out, just to run a minute or so off, minute to a minute and a half off the clock before they punt the football. As you get a look at the Charger side and the cheerleaders from Ansonia, they have not had an awful lot to cheer about here tonight, as Seymour has really done an excellent job of initially converting turnovers, and then in that last drive really moving the football down the field with that long run by Aldo, as Seymour is going to use the timeout here and take a chance to go over and talk to the coaching staff on that far side. But Seymour has done a great job, as I said, in converting some of the turnovers by the Ansonia Chargers. We said when we opened up that the quarterback with the least amount of turnovers probably would be the winner, and it has pretty much held true, as Mr. Matt Thomas certainly has stepped up and come up big for the Wildcats. Degnan has not played that bad a game, but realistically, he has not made some of the big plays that Thomas has.
Next week, buddy, you alluded to it before, we've got a big SEC contest.
It'd be nice to see Eddie McCarthy. I have not had a chance. We have not had a chance to do West Haven and Eddie McCarthy. Came down from that school up there in Trumbull, had a great career at St. Joe's, and has continued at West Haven, and he's got a pretty good football team this year.
And I think that game next weekend, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that game, it's an early season game. Shelton at home against West Haven, I think that's going to have playoff ramifications.
You know,
early.
4 years ago when this Southern Connecticut Conference opened up, a lot of people said that the football would be deleted, and if you look at the playoff picture over the last 5 years, you've had teams from the Southern Connecticut Conference in every division. Last year with Madison winning, Cheshire winning, Amity in the runner-up position. Really, that conference is a very strong conference, and we're going to have 2 of the better teams next week.
We'll have our own Shelton Gales on our Cable 10 Sports Valley High School football game of the week. That's coming up next week. Loss on the 1st down play.
Howard right in the backfield on this one as they try and get the ball to the fullback, and watch number 76 just drill Matt Sympathy at the 5-yard line.
A little bit over 6 minutes to go, and Seymour with a comfortable 20-point lead. The Cats lead at 27-7. Last Seymour win over Ansonia was at this field back in 1986. Of course, to be truthful about it, Seymour and Ansonia at that time did not have a continuing series, and they only started playing about 5 years ago, so it's not like the series has been that long.
That play looked like Thomas had the opportunity to just move that quarterback sneak on his own, because he and the center were off before everyone else, and sometimes the quarterback and center have the opportunity just for the quarterback to tap the center and to go straight ahead if he sees that soft middle. We may get a chance to talk to Matt at the end of this game and ask him whether he has the opportunity to make that decision, whether they were coming down from the bench or from the bench. But he's had done a great job in reading that all evening.
Are you telling our viewers something?
Well, I think they know that already.
And another running play.
And that time, Mr. Thomas got up very slowly.
Thomas holding on to the football.
He's going off. Again, the quarterback just not giving in the exchange. Just
And
holds on to it before Freeman.
Adrian Freeman has had a good job as also combining on the stop with big defensive tackle Wilbur Howard, 6'3", 250 pounds, sophomore.
Again, another timeout taken here as the Wildcats are going to talk it over before they punt the football.
Buddy, I know it's a little too soon. We still got some time in this game, but next week the Wildcats will be meeting another team with the Wildcat nickname. Will be Wildcats as Seymour opens up at home at the Barber. And Ansonia in their second week, they will travel up to Municipal Stadium, where they'll be facing Jerry Charleglio's Holy Cross Crusaders. And Ansonia, if this game plays out the way we think it's going to play out now, will have to regroup. And also interesting to note, Jack Hunt, if he loses this game, it'll be the second consecutive loss here at Jarvis Stadium, because Ansonia, having lost a state semifinal playoff to Darien last year, and now coupled with this. But Jack Hunt has had an awful lot of wins in his tenure at Ansonia right here at Jarvis Stadium. Seymour forced a punt. Jarvis Benjamin, he'll be taken down from behind. Kevin Mullen. Check that Tim Sadek on the tackle.
Benjamin looking for an opening. There's number 89, Sadek, on his back, ball down at the 33-yard line. Ansonia just has got to get something right here. Still got a life here if they can get in the end zone real quick.
Degnan throws it out. It is caught. That's LaRova. LaRova inside the 20, down inside the 15, and close to the 10-yard line. Degnan to John LaRova, 5'8", 165-pound junior.
LaRova just slides out of the slot. Degnan does a good job sitting in the pocket and delivering this one. Puts it right on the numbers. LaRova with a good job running after he catches the football to get the ball around the 15. Chargers ready to go.
I formation, play fake. Degnan will roll to his right. Now throws. Incomplete. In the right corner of the end zone, a couple of the Cats in on him. Solby, Eske, and Mullen, who have really left their calling card.
Degnan has had a few people meet him in the backfield with the wrong colored jerseys, and that certainly has not helped him try and deliver the football. That time he really was drilled as he released it.
Second down for Ansonia, 2nd and 10. They're deep in Seymour territory. Play fake. Degnan rolling around, takes a pop, still on his feet, rolls, runs, and finally taken down. Good effort by Jack Degnan on that play. Could have gone down with the first hit, but he stayed on his feet.
Those kind of plays are going to go a long way in making this young man a football player, as he really avoids a lot of trouble here. He should have been knocked down a couple times. Has the presence of mind to just continue his drive and to pick up a couple yards where he probably should have lost about 5. So a good job by the young quarterback, Jack Degnan.
3rd and 9 for Ansonia. Degnan in the pocket, throws and completes it inside the 5, and it looks to be an Ansonia first down. Let's see who caught the pass. That time he drilled the ball with authority to the sophomore split end, Jared Mott.
This is a slant. Watch as he delivers this. He stands in and he will deliver it. Good follow through, excellent throw. Right to Mott. On his back is number 24, Eric Pollock, for the stop.
And so Ansonia will go to the wishbone. And Jarvis Benjamin gets in for the score on the wishbone.
Quick drive. It took about 2 minutes, but the Chargers with 3:51 left. Still alive here. Watch now as the quarterback sets to throw this football, and he delivers it perfectly. That's a perfect form by the young quarterback, and that's something he has not done all evening. Big extra point here for the Chargers.
It'll be Richmond. Adam Richmond attempting the point after, and he had quite a streak going last year. He converted on an awful lot of consecutive PATs. We've got a flag dropped on the play, and they're talking it over with Benjamin. Now, according to the rules, if Ansonia accepts the point, if they accept the point after, this penalty will be assessed on the ensuing kickoff.
So it's going to give the Chargers an excellent opportunity to use that onside kick, which I think they have to use. They need to get the ball back right now. They're down 13, 3:51 left to go. They need 2 scores, and they need 1 very, very quickly.
Our new score, by the way, is Seymour 27 and Ansonia 14. We've got 3:51 remaining.
So this is a 15-yarder. They're going to kick off from the Seymour 45-yard line.
Ansonia is not aware of it, but that's according to the rules. They were not aware of it, but they'll kick it off from the 45-yard line. It's a 15-yard personal foul.
This will make it very interesting. Even with an onside kick here, Seymour will get the ball no better than their 30-yard line. So
Ansonia stacks their kickoff coverage team to one side of the field, and there is the kickoff. The good hands people up there for Seymour.
And this good hands guy is going to have a 60 on. He does a great job.
That's Kevin Mullen. I don't know if he'd be called good hands, but Kevin.
He's got to have him, or they wouldn't have him in front. Believe me, he just did a great job of jumping on it. But usually you don't see those 60 numbers.
You see the
on the hands team.
You see the 20s and the 30s and the single digits.
It says a lot about Kevin Mullen. He's just a great athlete.
Well, Paul Sponheimer said to me the other night, he said basically Kevin Mullen, and I know we're early, but Kevin Mullen is his best player if you're thinking offensively and defensively.
Seymour just does not want to make a mistake here.
3:49 remaining. We still have a lot of time. And Matt Thomas will hand off. And that's deep to the eye back. That's sympathy. He stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Ansonia is going to run their timeouts right here. They've got to have some time on the clock if they get the football back. You see the fullback just trying to take the first guy that comes, gets on Freeman, allows sympathy to just about get back to the line of scrimmage. Ansonia will take the timeout. 3:44 left to go. They want to get the ball back with as much time on the clock because they've got to have 2 scores. So they need a touchdown, and they're going to need to get that onside kick if they want to win this game.
3:44 remaining in our game. And once again, we'll mention that week number 2, we head on down to Finn Stadium in Shelton. We're looking forward to that one. SCC battle. It's an interdivisional battle between Westies of West Haven and the Shelton Gales of Joe Bonanto. West Haven from that Quinnipiac division in the SCC, and of course Shelton from the Housatonic division.
Such a pretty girl does not want to hide her face. I don't know why.
Week number 3, Bud, just projecting. We go up to Veterans Field in Naugatuck. We get our first look at the Greyhounds, and we'll be entertaining the Hearts, the Sacred Heart from Waterbury.
The slimmed down Greyhound coach, Craig Peters. He looked great, didn't he, when we did the show?
Sure did. It's Mike Galdo running out of the fullback spot. He's popped after a pickup of 1 on the play. And immediately Petrosky calls for an Ansonia timeout. His buddy speculated Ansonia's going to use him up now.
Fullback just gets off tackle, runs by the end, then gets hit pretty good, but holds on to the football. And right now, that's all Seymour is concerned with.
That was Tobias Freeman with the first pop.
Be a 3rd down for the Wildcats. 3:37 left to go in this 4th quarter. As you see down in front of you, the Chargers, another gentleman enjoying this game, and the Amity Spartans come out tonight with a very tough, hard-fought win, 22-14. Won it in the 4th quarter. So the Easties will be a team to reckon with, along with what a lot of people are talking about, a strong Amity Spartan team. Butch Marazzi, local Ansonia product, who has done an excellent job with the Spartans over the last few years. Got them into the playoffs for the first time. Another score, Cheshire shutting out Hamden and Horace Dodd 21-0.
I can't believe that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Horace Dodd is very good, but unfortunately, he can't do it all himself. And
Buddy,
as
while
we
we
said,
have
the Gales were well ahead, and they've won 47-0, so they're going to bring a big offense in next week
Well, we have an
against West
opportunity.
Haven.
Let me thank our spotter. I don't know if I'm getting shorter or if he's getting taller. Brian Coffey.
That is the end of the game right there.
That is Matt Sympathy, and that should just about ice it. Mr. Sympathy down into Ansonia territory at the 43.
Watch the reverse again. They have had great success on this play all night. The backside guard, Mullen, or tackle Mullen and Barker, along with Sadek, have led through there all night, and they have just opened up a tremendous hole for either Aldo or that time Sympathy. So a first down inside Ansonia territory. Chargers are going to have some difficulty here as we're going to be under 3 minutes very shortly.
First down at the 43-yard line. Waning moments of the game. And Seymour just does not want to do anything foolish with the football. They give to the deep back. That is Sympathy. And Matt for a couple. Buddy, let me mention that line again for the Cats after the replay.
Just straight ahead, hold on to the football. Sympathy following this fullback. Ansonia is unable to stop this one, and it is going to just be a very big Seymour Wildcat win. Let's give Ryan Coffey. He's playing football this year.
I can see he's a big boy.
Player.
Line for Seymour, Troy Sobieski, the center. Alopet, Alex, and Jason Barker, the newcomer at guards. Kevin Mullen, Chris Thompson, the tackles, and Tim Sadek at tight end. What a job that offensive line has done all evening long. And that's Mr. Matt Thomas dragging Ansonia defenders as he pile drives down to the 35-yard line.
Again, the quarterback just coming right over his center, right up the middle for very good yardage. And if I was Paul Sponheimer, I just kind of like not want to see him get hurt right now. This one is pretty much decided, and Matt Thomas has just had a great opening game for the Seymour Wildcats.
Third and short. Football is at the Ansonia 35. We got a minute and change left in this game. And the Cats just trying to run out the clock. And we're going to get a delay of game. And remember, for our viewers, to stay tuned after the game for our player of the game from Seymour, presented by Seymour Oil. And as usual in Ansonia, we take a vote of the press and the dignitaries up here in the press box, and we huddle and with the consensus.
And then Clemens makes the choice.
That's not true at all. That's a bum rap. That's not the way it works. Scissors action. This time Ansonia stops it. Tobias Freeman, who's played well for Ansonia in defeat here. 5'11", 200-pound senior captain. Let me mention quickly the Ansonia captains for this 1998 season. Brian Petrosky, Tobias Freeman, John Morrow, and Jarvis Benjamin. And the Chargers will open up 0-1. And that hasn't happened in a long, long time.
As we said in our pregame show when we did it back a couple weeks ago, that this was a very, very tough opener for both football teams. Two very, very good teams coming in, and one of them was going to go away from here with the loss as Seymour is going to take a penalty. They're really just going to snap the ball one more time probably, and this one is going to go into the books.
Sobieski back to punt. He gets it off. He sails it to the far sidelines, out of bounds. And Ansonia will take it over from there. 38 ticks remaining. Seymour 27, Ansonia 14. Cable 10 Sports, Valley High School football game of the week.
And the Chargers are sending in a lot of new players on offense.
Morrow sets up as the tight end to the left side. Degden back to throw, flares it out to LaRova, and LaRova rolled out of bounds on the near sidelines. Johnny LaRova playing a good game here this evening. It was Ben Carter rolling him out, Bud.
Right into the flat. Again, Degnan does a good job delivering the football. LaRova turns it up. He'll pick up an extra 10 yards on his own before he gets out of bounds. Good presence to get out of bounds and stop the clock with 31 ticks left.
31 ticks. Degnan looking to throw. Throws it out. Overthrows his intended receiver. He's throwing out to Robert Lisi, who's now in the football game as a wide receiver. So it goes incomplete. It'll be a second down coming up. Line of scrimmage is the Ansonia 49-yard line. Check that 48. Ansonia will swing Benjamin out to the top part of your screen, to the bottom part of your screen. That is Jared Mott. And out of the I-back formation. Degnan back to throw, screens it to Benjamin. But Benjamin is stopped by Mike Aldo at the 45-yard line. Part of Ansonia's screen package. Ansonia on the football. And this should be the last play, but Degnan decides to ground the football, spikes the football, which is legal in high school football. And so we will have one more play. 4 ticks remaining. Seymour will go 1-0 on the season. Trips to the right side. Degnan, straight drop. Over the middle, throws it out there. It is picked off by the Wildcats. The final play of the game. Is that Pollock?
Uh-oh, we got the cheerleaders on the field.
Eric Pollock.
Stanford.
At the 30, at the 20, at the 10. And Eric Pollock, did he get in for the score?
No.
They're saying that Eric Pollock was driven out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Eric Pollock, the soccer player who until tonight had never played a game of football, of organized football, in his life.
Thank goodness that no one got hurt, because there were about 50 people on the 40-yard line. Watch this one now. This is Pollock, and he's going to go about 85, 1 yard short, but he's going to run into the cheerleading program right here, and then just behind the cheerleaders is about another 25 fans, and he's going to go out right at the 1.
That might make national.
I'll tell you what.
That might make national television right there. That sequence. Anyway.
What was that? The Stanford game where the band came on the field.
That's
what a play.
Few years ago, and we have wrapped matters up here at the Jarvis Stadium in Ansonia. Once again, our final score: Seymour 27, Ansonia 14. We'll be coming back with our Seymour Oil Player of the Game presentation right after this.
The decision you make regarding your heating and cooling service is extremely important. Here at Seymour Oil, you'll find we're a full-service oil dealer with a major commitment to every one of our customers. In addition to premium heating oil, Seymour Oil provides 24-hour emergency service, automatic degree-day delivery, financing and flexible payment plans, our own licensed service technicians, and state-of-the-art facilities and equipment. Seymour Oil, serving your neighbors with pride since 1932. We feel it's our job to keep you warm in the winter and cool in the summer.
Well, buddy, it was rather easy selecting our first Seymour Oil Player of the Game. An outstanding effort by a quarterback. His first game as the Seymour Wildcat quarterback. Our Seymour Oil Player of the Game, Matt Thomas, number 12. Matt, an outstanding effort, a couple of presentations, and then Buddy will ask you a few questions. First of all, the plaque from Seymour Oil.
Thank you,
sir.
And the T-shirt, and we hope that you wear it once before your girlfriend does, but just, again, symbolic of just a great football game. You open our season. First scrimmage, you were not the #1 quarterback. The second scrimmage, the weight of the Seymour offense is on your shoulders. How did you feel?
I felt all right. I had the line in front of me. I had a little support from the veterans. We turned out all right.
Not only did you turn out all right, you put 3 touchdowns on the board by way of sneaks or the option. Were you given any latitude by the coaching staff to make the decision about the quarterback sneak with the soft middle, or was it something that came in from the sidelines?
It's something that came in from the sidelines. He told me to goose it if the tackle spread out. It worked pretty good. We had a couple times. Good yardage.
Great job offensively and also on defense. You did a great job both ways. How does this Seymour football team feel coming into this one and now having a win against a very strong and a real traditional foe with the Ansonia Chargers?
We feel very confident. We think we can go all the way this year. But we got think ahead next week. It's a big game. Every week's a big game to us.
You guys have been together a long time. Congratulations. This is the first time. We hope to see you again, but just a great effort in your initial game as the starting quarterback at Seymour. And to the Seymour football team, congratulations to be 1-0.
Thank you, sir.
Edward?
All right, and he's saying all the right things, Mr. Matt Thomas. Once again, this reminder that next week, our second week of the high school football season, we go to Finn Stadium for an SCC contest, a big one. Buddy and I are looking forward to it. West Haven at Shelton. Once again, your final score from here at Jarvis Stadium in Ansonia, Seymour 27, Ansonia 14. And on behalf of Matt Thomas, our Seymour Oil Player of the Game, and Buddy Chernovitz, Ed Clements, good night, everyone.